All right, now on the pulse, we have a very special guest. We have Marny Kennedy from Mortified. Thanks for coming on.
No worries. Thank you for having me.
You've been in some pretty cool, I suppose, children programs. So like Mortified, the Saddle Club, Girls World. Sounds a bit weird, a 19-year-old reading that out, but
You got to be careful with that.
yeah. I was a big fan of Mortified.
Thank you.
What was it like being in something like that, like so young?
Oh my goodness. Well, it was my first proper TV show. So as you can imagine, getting that news at 11 years old was right up there with Christmas morning.
Yeah.
It was an amazing experience to kind of be initiated into the acting world through Mortified was a huge blessing, really, because the cast and crew were amazing, and all us kids on the show it was all of our first jobs, really.
Yep.
So we were very well looked after, and we learnt the ropes pretty quickly, which we are all still very indebted to.
Yeah.
It's a really great opportunity.
Yeah, well, working in something like that, I was just wondering, like, how did you balance school with, like, the workload of being an actor?
That's on most shows, actually, up until I guess, 18. That was probably the biggest issue, because especially in Mortified, I was pretty much in every scene, and fortunately I was only doing, grade 6 at the time, so it wasn't too strenuous, but no, it was very difficult. Legally, they have to get hours in, obviously, with the shooting. So it was a hard kind of balance, but we made it work in the end. But and I think the hardest thing was getting me into the tutoring then, because I was always wanting to kind of just stick around on set, which was awesome in itself. I got to learn a lot there. So it was a different kind of learning, but it was cool.
Yeah. Did you sort of realise how successful Mortified was? Like I read on Wikipedia, which was a great way to research, that it was shown in like
Wikipedia.
Yeah, it was shown in like Brazil, France, Canada, and Germany. Like that's pretty amazing just for like a little Australian show.
Yeah, it's something actually that later on, because I mean they're still playing it in different parts of the world now.
Yeah.
I think now that I'm a bit older, I can kind of appreciate the reach that the shows had, but definitely at the time, I mean, I was 11, so I was just grateful to be to be on set, let alone aware of the reach that it had. But I'm definitely, I mean, I still get beautiful messages from all over the world saying thank you for kind of being a part of my childhood, which is just you can't put a price on that. It's so lovely, and that's never kind of lost on me, especially as I get older. So yeah, it's now kind of hit me that, it's definitely reached 50 people across the world, so very cool.
You've got a pretty big fan base for, well, like, pretty much when I was researching, all I could see was you haven't done anything like, this is just going to sound offensive, but you've got like 50,000 Instagram followers for like a few kids shows. That sounds really harsh, but like that's a pretty amazing fan base for what you've done so early in your career.
Yeah, it's I mean, social media is such a strange place to begin with, but it is a weird thing. That I completely agree with you. I really don't know what the appeal is. I'm sure if a lot of people met me in real life, it'd be a little anticlimactic, but no, it is very appreciated though, and it is lovely. It's a nice way to connect with people that, I mean, 10 years ago, I wouldn't be able to speak to kids over in Spain or anything like that. Like, it's pretty insane. And I like Instagram and all that kind of thing. I love taking photos and being able to share, like, little kind of memories and moments with people all over the world. So, yeah, it is crazy, though. I mean, I was trying to explain it to my dad a few weeks ago because he was like, "What's this Instagram?"
Yeah.
And he just thought it was a joke. He's like, "You've got to be kidding me," He keeps me very grounded. So no matter how many followers I've got, I've still got Dad to kind of go, "Nah, that's a joke."
Yeah. Well, through the research that I did, which I'm glad I can call it research and not stalking, but I was on your YouTube account, and you've been on some pretty crazy trips. Was that with work, or was that just holidays? You went to America and India and places like those?
I have been fortunate. I mean, Girls World took us over to Germany and Singapore, and I'm lucky with that. So it can be work-based for the most part, but the YouTube stuff is just my own trips that I've done since kind of finishing one of the last kids shows I did. It's just been kind of or it's always been the grand plan for me. The two kind of go hand in hand. You can work for so long, and then you've got these big periods of time in between jobs, and I definitely didn't want to sort of become stagnant or anything. So it's always been pretty important to me to travel and kind of see parts of the world that you wouldn't typically go to.
Yeah.
But it's I'm lucky in that sense, and acting's been a huge kind of support for that sort of thing. But no, I love traveling, and I love being able to share those experiences. And I mean, yeah, there's some crazy parts of the world that 10-year-old me just wouldn't have even dreamed of visiting. So,
Yeah.
I've been very fortunate and very lucky.
Yeah, well, one of my favourite videos on your YouTube was the one in America
Yeah.
with the Taylor Swift song. That was pretty cool. And I noticed you're with Brittany from Mortified, Maya Mitchell.
Maya Mitchell, yeah, that's right. Maya is a dear friend of mine. We actually lived together for a short amount of time in LA when I first went over there for pilot season.
That's so
about
cool.
a year and a half ago. And yeah, we both still look 12 years old. I don't know, something about that show that just wouldn't let us age. She's awesome. I was actually texting her just yesterday, so I'll make sure to send my love to her. But yeah, that video is a bit of a treasure to me. It kind of just reminds me of a really great time in my life. I'm lucky because, I mean, you can have an odd time over in LA if you're not surrounded by some good people. So that video is definitely a reminder of all the beautiful friends I've got over there, including Maya. So yeah, it's a bit of fun. I mean, I'm going to look back on it in a few years and regret posting it for the world to see, but that's okay.
No, it was great. I loved it. But Maya, she's been pretty successful. This might be another insult, but I haven't really heard much. Well, I don't know, from Australia. I haven't heard much about her, but after researching, she's kicking butt over there.
Oh my gosh, she is just absolutely killing it. I'm like a proud stage mother half the time, but yeah, she's the lead in The Fosters, which is an ABC family show, and she did a couple of Disney films as well that kind of launched her over there.
Yeah.
But yeah, oh my gosh, and not just Maya, but there's so many of my Aussie friends that are just killing it over there, which is so great. And I mean, there's a lot of Americans that are ready to beat us all up, but I think it's such a testament to the Australian work ethic, and it's so awesome to see friends, especially ones that you've known since before you hit puberty.
Yeah.
Maya I've known since I was 11, so it really is beautiful to kind of see her really kicking goals over there.
Yeah, a couple of questions I just wanted to ask. I've got a little segment type thing at the end where I'll just shoot you some quick questions, but
yeah,
just a couple of acting, or I suppose to do with acting. Just, is there any, who's probably the coolest person you've met to do with acting? Is there anyone Hollywood A grade that we'd be jealous of?
Yeah. I've actually seen a lot of people whilst grocery shopping. I think the coolest person actually was Robert Pattinson for me, because my 15-year-old self was in, you were talking about stalking earlier,
Yeah.
kind of borderline that. And I ended up at this event sort of thing. There's a bunch of us that wound up in this hotel room all, kind of kicking on afterwards, and he was just kind of staying there, and I was talking to him, and in my head I was like, be cool, man, be cool. But it just obviously didn't come across like that. But yeah, so that's probably the closest shoulder brush I've had with someone who mattered to me anyway.
Yeah.
But no, you see people all over the place in LA, and it's super weird, but then you really do, and I mean, it sounds so cliche, but you do realise that they're just normal people. They're all, you see them grocery shopping, you see them, eating breakfast or whatever, and it's but I do admittedly still get a kick out of it, so don't worry about that.
Yeah, I think that beats my run-in with Carl from Neighbours, so I think you've voluntarily got me there.
Hey now, Dr. Carl, he's a classic.
Yeah, he's pretty cool. Is he over in LA at all, or is he just down at Ramsey Street?
I haven't seen him around LA. I'll keep a lookout.
Do you live in LA at all?
I'm always back and forth. I spent 6 months of this year over there, but at the moment my friend Ace is living in my room, and I'm back here for now. So I'm a bit split, half and half here and over there.
Well, yeah, that's pretty cool. LA is somewhere I'd like to go once I get the money and funds. I reckon I'll be straight over there.
LA is a very interesting place. You can definitely you can have very different experiences over there, but yeah, it's a very cool place. I'd highly recommend it.
Last question before I shoot into these quick-fired questions.
Yes.
Well, it's not really a question. It's more of a statement. But I feel like we have some sort of connection's not the word. Some sort of. I feel like I know you in a way. Not because I was brought up watching you, but I've got a mate whose cousin is Emily Browning. Do you know her at all?
I have a lot of mutual friends with Emily, and I met her probably about 5 years ago now, but she's with my Australian agency, so we've definitely crossed paths, but I'm by no means very close friends with her.
All right.
But we've brushed shoulders, we've had a chat.
That one was a bit of a stretch.
But I'm practically related now.
I feel like this one's a little bit better. I noticed that your cousin is Adam Kennedy from JWS.
There we go. That's a little closer.
Yeah. So it's not that close. My best mate's cousin is Nick Haynes, who is mates with your cousin.
I've actually, that name's definitely been thrown around by Adam. I'm aware of Nick Haynes. He's your cousin?
No, he's my best mate's cousin, so still a bit of a stretch.
Now there you go, 6 degrees separation. Yeah, well there you go.
So we're basically good mates.
Yeah, you and I go way back.
All right, I'll go into these quick fire questions.
I'm ready.
That was very successful. All right, where would you rather live, a city or rural area?
Rural area.
What's your biggest fear?
Moths.
Jeez, they're hanging around these days. I've seen a lot of them.
Yeah, apparently there's a plague. Anyway, keep going. I'm ready.
All right, cats or dogs?
Oh, dogs.
Toast or cereal?
Cereal.
Would you rather watch the movie or read the book?
Read the book.
Now, this one...
Oh, that's a tie.
With this one, the only reason I've compared it is because I'm hoping Mortify was filmed in Queensland. So
yes,
I've said AFL or NRL.
Please, AFL.
Who do you go for?
I have to say Greater Western Sydney because of Adam.
Yeah, that's probably a fair point. Yeah. Your favourite place in the world?
Ooh, that's a tough one. There's so many and for so many different reasons. I think my happy place is Daylesford in Victoria. But I love London. I love India. There's New York. Oh, I can't. That's a terrible question.
This is quick questions, Marny.
Yeah. Sorry, I'll go. I'll hang up.
And my last question, I had a bit of writer's block, I'm going to call it, when I was writing down these questions, and I sort of asked my friends who, like, what would they ask you? And one of my friends, like, it was just such a random question, I'll ask you anyway. He said,
yep.
Would she come to Nando's for me? I don't know why he said Nando's, but would you go to Nando's with my friend Ethan?
I'm a vegetarian, so that might, for Ethan's sake, I'll sit there and I'll watch him eat.
Oh, well,
Super romantic.
I really appreciate that. He'll love that when he hears that. I just want to, I'm just wondering, what's on next for you? Any more kids shows or?
Yeah, no, I've kids shows. I think I've kind of retired that for now. Never say never, I guess. But I'm actually back off to LA in probably about February. I'm heading to India for the month of January, so I'll go there for a little bit for my 21st, and then, heading off to LA for pilot season again. So lots of auditions and meetings and doing that kind of thing. So, yeah, that's kind of what's next up.
Oh, well, if you're ever in Geelong, I'd love a call. And if you ever, well, not ever, when you make it big over there, hopefully I'm a little bit, bigger known in the radio world, you'll still chat to us.
Yeah, absolutely. It was an absolute pleasure.
All right, thanks.
Make sure to see you around Nando's sometime.
Yeah, thanks for coming on.
No worries. Thank you so much.